Hello, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, consider joining the family by hitting that subscribe button and remembering the notification bell so you will be reminded when I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel, I create budget-friendly home decor that's easy to do. So if you want to see some of my creations, keep watching. Hello again, my sweet friends, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching another one of my videos. I am always and truly grateful. For this first DIY, I have these bunches here from the Dollar Tree, and these are some fall bunches, and I'm going to be using 4 sets of these for this first project. I'm going to be using this wooden family sign, and I got this from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to be using 2 of these wood inserts out of the wood boxes from the Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to be using some of these painter sticks. So I'm going to be using 5 packs of these. I get these painter sticks from Home Depot, and it's 3 in here for 98 cents. I'm going to be using some of that plaster color and some of my early American stain, and that's by the brand Mini Wax. I'm going to leave these painter sticks in the pack because I'm going to just cut them down still in the pack. It's just easier this way to keep them straight. And then I'm just going to take my saw, and then once I get the handle cut off, because I'm only cutting the handles off, I'm just going to take my little knife to cut the plastic, and then I'm just going to take them out. And it was just easier to get 3 cut at once. Now I'm going to line them all up. Because these are the ruler painter sticks, I'm just making sure the ruler side is all on one side, and that will be the back. And this is going to be a large sign. What I'm doing is just going to have 1 stick up, 1 stick down, just creating a little simple design, as you can see. And so now I'm going to use all of these handles to connect the sticks. That way I will be able to use all of the pieces, and I do like being able to use the scraps. I don't like wasting anything. And to connect them, I am using some wood glue as well as some hot glue, and I'm just placing the pieces to where all of the sticks are connected, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to make sure I add a stick to where each one of them is connecting to one another, and I'm going to use all of these until I feel like everything is nice and secured. So after I get all of my pieces connected and my sign is secured, I'm going to flip it over and use my Dollar Tree sanding block to make sure that everything is smooth so that I can go in and stain it. And I'm just using a baby wipe to add my stain to the sign. If you are used to watching my videos, you know I like to use the painter sticks to create my signs because I can make them as small or as big as I like them. And so I'm just going to continue this until I have everything covered. I'm going to stain the back of this sign as well. And so after I get that complete, I'm going to put the sign to the side, and I'm going to take the 2 wooden box inserts and the family wooden sign, and I'm going to paint them using that plaster color Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to make sure I paint in between the creases of this family sign to make sure none of that natural color show. And then after I get that complete, what I'm going to do is bring my sign back so that I can add a piece of rope to the back so that I can have the option to hang this. And I'm just going to use my staple gun to attach the rope. Then I'm going to flip my sign over so I can attach my little boxes and my family sign. So for the boxes, what I'm going to do first is hot glue some foam in the inside. And I'm going to glue these boxes down from the top because I'm going to use the little opening to insert my floral. I like the little butterfly opening, so I'm just going to add the hot glue around the rim, and I'm going to press that right down. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other box, and I'm going to add some hot glue and some wood glue to the family sign, and then I'm going to attach that in the middle. And after I get that complete, I am going to cut the stems down a little bit on these fall picks, and once I get them clipped down, all I'm going to do is just insert those and the little butterfly openings on each one of the boxes, and this DIY is complete. I think this sign is so pretty and I love how it came out. So now I'm going to get ready and get started on the second DIY sign for today. And for that DIY, I have 2 packs of those painter sticks. I'm going to be using 3 of these wood arrows with the jute cord from the Dollar Tree, as well as one of those wooden plaques out of the 6-pack, and this cute little placemat. The color paints is going to be some antique wax and some more of that plaster color Waverly chalk paint. The first thing I'm doing is just measuring how much of these wood arrows that I need to cut off, and I'm just measuring them with the little designs that's on the placemat. Since the arrow won't fit in, I'm just going to cut that off, and then I can cut down how much of the wood I need to use. And so now what I'm going to do is cut out the designs that's on this placemat. And so I'm just going to use my scissors to cut those out. And I'm also going to use that little square design as well as all of the little different wordings. And so after I get everything cut out, what I'm going to do is line it up with my wood pieces just to make sure that everything is even. And then I'm going to take some Mod Podge to connect everything, and I'm going to add Mod Podge to the pieces of the placemats as well as the wood pieces. And after I finish getting everything connected, once everything dry, I'm just going to go around and cut off the hanging pieces of placemat. And then once I get all that complete, what I'm going to do is take that antique wax and I'm just going to distress around the edges of these pieces. And if any get on a placemat, if it's more than I want, you can just take a paper towel and wipe it right off. And I'm going to do all of the pieces the same way. And once I get that complete, I'm going to put these to the side so that I can create the base for my sign. And I cut the handles off of these painter sticks. And what I'm going to do is just use those tumbling blocks to help make sure that the spacing in between each one of these sticks are even. And I do have 6 sticks. And I'm going to take 2 more sticks and I'm going to just place those on each end of the sign. So what I'm going to do is just take these sticks, add some hot glue, and tack them down on each side. So after I get everything tacked down, I'm going to move the tumbling blocks from in between the sticks, and I'm just going to go in with that plaster color chalk paint, and I'm going to paint this entire piece. And so after I get everything painted, what I'm going to do is take that Dollar Tree sanding block and I'm just going to distress around the edges of this sign, just bringing back some of that natural wood. And then I'm going to bring back my little wood pieces that I attached the placemat to, and I'm just going to place them where I want them on the sign. And once I have everything where I want it, I'm just going to take the hot glue to attach all of the pieces. And so after I get all of my pieces attached, I'm going to flip it over so that I can add some cord to the back. And as you can see, I did paint the back of those little pieces. And the cord, the rope, I'm going to attach it straight across, because that way, if you want it to be a leaner and you didn't want to hang it, you won't be able to see the cord. And I think this came out really cute. I thought the placemat was so cute, and I just wanted to create a really nice sign. Here is how it looks. If you do not want it to hang, you do not have to try to hide the cord. It looks really nice and I like how it turned out. So now I'm going to get started on the third DIY sign for today. I have this wooden board that I picked up from the thrift store for $1. I'm going to be using 2 bunches of these dry flowers that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I have this Blessed stencil that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to be using this mini wax early American stain and some more of that plaster color chalk paint. I'm just going to use this baby wipe to darken up this sign a little bit. Since this is not real wood, it's soaking up the stain a little bit, but that's okay. I really just wanted to darken up this sign a little bit more. And then after I get that covered, what I'm going to do is take that plaster color and I am just going to dry brush over this sign. And then after I get that complete, I'm going to take that Bless stencil and I'm going to stencil the word Bless right in the center of this sign. I'm just going to use some painter's tape to tape down the stencil so it will not move, and then I'm going to get one of my little round foam brushes that I pick up from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go right up and down on top of the stencil, and I'm not going to add a bunch of paint on the brush, and I'm going to do this until I have the whole word covered. I always let it dry a little bit before I pull up the stencil, and then after that's complete, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open those dry flowers. Now they are tied together by a little piece of jute cord, but I'm going to leave that jute cord on there because I'm going to leave everything together, and I am just going to add some rope to the back of this sign first so that I can be able to hang it, and I'm using my staple gun to attach the rope. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the sign over and attach these flowers. And like I said, I'm going to leave everything together. Just attach one at the bottom, one at the top. And I'm going to use some hot glue to connect everything. And then after I get all of that attached, this sign is complete. It was very simple, but I think it is really pretty and I love how it turned out. The dry flowers gave it just the right amount touch, and I absolutely love it. And now I'm going to get started on my last DIY sign for today. I'm going to be using 2 of these leftover Easter signs from the Dollar Tree. I have this little calendar box. I got this from Five Below for $5, but I'm not going to use these pieces. I'm just going to use this block piece here. I'm going to be using some of these succulents. I picked all of these up from Hobby Lobby. They were just $1 a piece, and I'm going to be using the same color paint choices. What I'm going to do first is pull off that burlap ribbon and these cords off this sign. I'm going to keep these little burlap pieces that have the Blessed on them because I think I'm going to use the Blessed for a future DIY. And then I'm going to hot glue these 2 signs together, just making sure that I line the holes up so that I can add the cord back to this sign. And I'm using some wood glue as well as some hot glue. I'm using 2 signs just to make this a little bit more sturdier. Then I'm going to take my Dollar Tree sanding block to go around the edges to blend the 2 signs together. And then I'm going to go over the sign to smooth it down a little bit before I go in with that plaster color chalk paint. And I'm going to paint this entire sign. After I get it painted with that color, I'm going to go in with an antique wax. And I'm just going to distress over this sign, just darkening up that color a little bit. And I'm going to make sure I go around the edges as well. And then after I get that complete, I'm going to use that antique wax and paint over this half box. I'm just going to add the paint, and then I'm going to take a paper towel just to wipe off any excess paint. After I get that complete, I'm going to take some jute cord and string it back through the 2 holes so that I can hang this sign. I'm just going through the front, and then I'm going to tie 2 knots in the back. and then I'm going to cut off the excess cord that's hanging. And then after I get that complete, I'm going to attach the box to the sign, and I'm just going to use some hot glue for that. And then after I get that complete, I am going to add some foam inside this box so that I can attach my florals. And so what I'm going to do is, I originally wasn't going to hot glue it, but I decided to add some hot glue to the bottom of the foam so that it can stay secured. And so after I get that done, I'm just going to go in and arrange these succulent pieces. I'm going to cut the longer ones down some and then add them. And then what I'm going to do is, I have a few of these Dollar Tree stones that I'm going to add right on top of the foam just to cover that up. I didn't want the foam to show. And then after I add those rocks, this DIY is complete. This was really simple, but I think this came out really pretty. Thank you all so much for watching another one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed today's video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. And here is a second look of the other signs that I created today. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these signs were your favorite. And until next time, my friends, stay safe so I can see you in the next video.